7:36 and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Sorry for the slight delay. It was raining. Welcome to the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg.
Yeah, it was a real shitstorm. So
we're here almost every Wednesday night at 7:30, and just here to kind of try to help you sort things out. Welcome everybody on Facebook Live. Here we go, man. IMHO, in my humble opinion, .love. These are just opinions. Facts are always questionable.
We don't need those facts.
We don't need facts. and tonight's show is Watchmen Third Shift. And that's kind of what Mike and I do is it is a huge puzzle that we're trying to put together here in the 9th day of September of 2020. All these little puzzle pieces are floating around. You trip over some of them. Some are left for you. Some you got to really seek out. I was trying to figure out what's going on. I can't take the attitude of just not thinking about it. It's absolutely impossible not to think about our current circumstances. And that's what we're here to help report to you and with you and hopefully comfort you a little bit. And, together we're good. United we stand and divided we fall. So in our little bit of, cohesiveness, we hope we're all together on this, trying to support each other spiritually, and meditationally, prayerfully,
and extraterrestrially.
And extraterrestrially, absolutely. We had a CE5 last Saturday night, and wow, it was a colossal evening.
Yeah, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. Well, I'll start with it. Kind of culminates in your story.
Okay.
But we got out to the field early. We got rained out.
Right.
The field was a little wet to begin with, so we were inside for about an hour and a half. There were 21 people, and half of them were new, so nobody really knew each other. And by the end of an hour and a half, everybody got to know everybody else so well that when we went outside to do our meditation and contact work, everybody was on the same page, emotionally, spiritually, everything else.
Yeah.
So we got out to the field, and instead of joining hands and doing a traditional meditation, it was like, okay, everybody, wherever you are, do your meditation and your CTS, and then come on back. Mm-hmm. And 2 or 3 minutes later, I just asked everybody to come on back from wherever they were, mentally.
I love going there.
Yeah, and explaining how to get there is kind of a miracle in and of itself, because you don't realize that there are areas beyond your imagination, and that this kind of opens them up.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, one of our members put up her, iPhone or her camera and started filming, and she called me over and she says, "You need to look at this," and I was like, Okay, yeah, I'll get over there. And then I get over there, and she said, something told me just to pick the camera up and start filming. And
I've been there.
And you have been. And those of us who do this, this is not an uncommon thing. So I looked through the viewer and her camera, and there are 2 of these energy forms. They were, how you look at a candle?
Yeah.
And then you see the light outside the candle.
Uh-huh.
Well, this is the same thing, but there was
the corona.
The corona, yes. so there are these 2 coronas floating around, pixelated, making their moves. So I'm looking at it, I'm going, wow, I think you may have something there. And and these were coronas, but they didn't have the light.
Right. Okay.
So
they didn't have the big glow, but they were like the thinner part of it.
Right.
Right.
And we had pictured these to some degree that showed what I saw, but this is kind of the amazing story too. Because I'm watching these things through the viewer, and I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm going, okay, well, we need some... let me go in there and make sure it's not a distortion from the fire or your lens or anything else.
Sure.
So I did that. I went in, threw some wood on the fire, and it was amazing. I walked in that circle where these coronas were, because you can't really technically call them orbs. They weren't. And
they were orb-like.
well, they're coronas. We just made a name for them. Why not? So I mean, it can't all be bad. No. So I walked in, and this member took the photograph, and one of the coronas came out in the photograph, and you could see it as the light source. The other corona disappeared out of the frame, and then I walked back, and then walked back to where she was and looked again, and they were back in front of, in a little bit different spot,
right,
and still doing the thing what they're doing, kind of moving around there.
Sure.
And it was just absolutely amazing. And then what happens is I have two cattle, yin and yang.
Yeah.
They're both female. One's a lipstick dyke, and the other one's just a bull dyke. Literally. So, but I love them both, and it's been so weird. They've never voluntarily come within. Maybe,
they have Harleys.
Yeah, right too. They've never come voluntarily within like 7 or 8 feet of me. They really just keep their distance. These two cattle.
They're Zebu cattle.
They're Zebu.
Yeah.
Right. They're
and there's 2 of them, and they live here on the ranch at Area 52.
Right. One's white, and one's black. Yin and yang. Go figure. Hey,
Yeah, there you
I have
go.
no imagination.
Sure. Ebony and ivory.
They're about this tall. One's about this.
They're
tall.
adorable.
They're like.
They're the cattle of kings.
Well, sort of. Who drive MG midgets. I mean, they aren't a sports car. It's what the MG midget was to a Corvette.
They're bullets.
They're bullets. That's right. Bullets. But needless to say, they always stay at the lower corner of the property at night, and they sleep there. They don't move after the sun goes down. They just kind of.
Well, they have like a little manger over there,
right.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they like to be. And so after I walked out of the circle and decided to take my seat again, the Zebu cattle have walked up and they get all the way to the western end of the property, and then they come walking right through the middle of the circle and the fire. And
amazing.
else.
Never seen that.
And then they go walking up to the barn, and I'm going, oh Christ! Somebody must have left the gate open. I better check the gate because if these things get out, we got some problems.
Yeah, it's a Benny Hill show.
Yeah, it's worse. It could be dangerous for traffic going by.
Sure. Yeah.
So, not to mention the cattle. So I go to the gate, and then I pass the cattle, and to get to the gate, and I turn around, and the cattle have stopped, and they're over by an area where I do my my nursery work. I raise
and
trees.
your plow sharpening.
My plow. It's over by the rose-colored plow. But a tribute to one of the founders of this organization.
There you go.
But
that's funny.
Yeah, it's a plow.
It's symbolic as hell too.
It's
yeah.
a plow,
yeah, it's beautiful.
So a pink plow. So they're over there, but they're not looking around on the ground or anything. They're looking up towards the second story of the barn. And I look up there going like, what the hell are they doing?
What are they looking
There's
at?
Nothing up there. What are they doing down here? So I go back to my seat again and sit down, and all of a sudden, boom, I watch the cattle literally jump and bolt towards the other side of the property, which is where they usually bed down. I go, what the hell is that? And there's Lou going, there's an orb up there.
There were several.
Right. Well, okay.
There were several, and they ran across the tree line. Okay, and they were pretty bright.
Yeah.
And apparently, the energy from the orbs, spooked the cattle, and they flat took off, and we didn't see them the rest of the night. But did you hear Ken? Was sitting there, and the one cow, the white one, came up and licked his head.
Licked him on the way in.
He's laying in his recliner chair. See, the CE5, which is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, or Human-Initiated Contact Experience. It's where we collectively pray and meditate, and we seek to communicate with our extraterrestrial family, our star family, however you want to put it. So we have this collective prayer and all this energy going up, and and this does draw attention of all different kinds. And these cows have been very, very standoffish for the longest time. And for them to actually walk into the circle and then and lick Ken in the head while he's laying there in his, recliner chair.
I talked to him. He goes, I think I'm being tapped on the shoulder by an ET, and I look around and there's a cow licking me.
So it was a beautiful, organic night. There was a lot of great communication. I felt a real strong energy during the second meditation, and I'll tell you, man, it really took a lot out of me. That was a big energy dump because Sunday,
same thing with me.
I was useless.
Yeah. And when the cattle came through, the only thing I could think of is they must be absolutely unthreatened by what's going on here.
Yes.
And when they came through the circle, later on in the night, we had a craft that came up on the horizon and went from horizon to horizon, north to south, in fewer than 10 seconds, and it flashed. The flash was so bright it happened to my back, but I saw the ground light up as it passed over. And
I missed that one.
Yeah, because we were sitting in the wrong direction. But Ken and Amanda got it. And the newbies up in that neck of the woods, they all saw that. And they were gobsmacked.
Wow.
And but the story goes on. Is Monday was kind of restful. I was still kind of processing that feeling because it really was heartfelt. I mean, it was everything that heart connection is when you make a long distance connection with ET UFO.
That's how and for those of you, that's how you know if you have an ET connection there. You will actually feel it in your heart and your vibration and your current, your frequency, as opposed to if you just saw something spooky in the sky, which does happen too. But when it's them, they let you know it's them.
Spooky in the sky with diamonds. Hey, you know what happened on Monday? So Sunday I'm processing all this, right? I'm just kind of laying back.
You just smeared 2 classic 60s songs.
I know. But that's what you get. I did that as on Parler, where I'm Cool Hand Luke Skywalker.
Cool Hand Luke Skywalker. Perfect. You're playing 5th degree chess all by yourself.
We'll go into the Viagra joke, but on Monday, I go to work at Monday at noontime. I take Monday morning off and get chores and things done around the house here. And on Monday, I go out and I see the 2 zebu cattle.
Sure.
In what is my garden, which right now is laying fallow, and they were in the garden. And I went up to the fence, and they came up to me.
Huh?
That's never happened before.
Yeah.
Never happened before. So I went inside, and I got them some fruit, and then I fed them some fruit and stuff. Mm-hmm. But they had been completely transformed from these skitterish cattle that would have nothing to do with me. They had to be lassoed to be brought in to get wormed and stuff. To, hey, boss, how are you doing today?
Yeah, nice.
That was great. Didn't that happen? Kind of got spooked there.
Did you see those orbs too?
Yeah, exactly. And ever since then, they've been coming up to me at the gate, and
oh man,
yeah, it's incredible.
Wow. Well, that's love.
Well, that's true.
That's love. They have come because before the cattle, they behaved like goth teenagers at a food court. Occasionally they look up at you and go, back to their phones.
Exactly.
But yeah, so now they're all lovey-dovey.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and there's many, many reasons to doubt everything you read, everything you see. There's just so many scenarios being thrown at you right now, and if you're a little confused and if you're a little off balance, hey man, join the club. We all are. I had these funky waves come and go. If you just kind of feel like a rain cloud's following you around, and you just when you're seeing photo images of the worst behavior of humanity, and listening to angry words and people yelling and no one listening, and it wears on you. And we're several months into this charade right now. So you're tired, I'm tired, Mike's tired, we get it, and we're sympathetic with you. But no, okay, there's something changing inside of you, and you're getting stronger. And and I think what's happening is those of us who have sought the alternative news for many years and not trusted the system per NBC evening news or nightly news, we didn't. We just I wasn't identifying with it, and they had my confidence for many years, and then it started to get shaken, and now it's like journalist is almost a dirty word,
Yeah. And look what they did to the best journalist on the planet, Julian Assange.
Oh,
His trial starts. His trial starts this week.
Really?
3-week trial. Yeah.
Man, this is all just so much crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
And but all right. Mike and I talk about all the time how this is a giant manipulation of language, numbers, and statistics. That's what we're experiencing right now.
There to manipulate your consciousness.
Yes, they're trying to bend the way you think about things, and here is the grandness. This is I wanted to call and tell you this yesterday, but I go, no, I'll save it for the show.
Oh, thanks, Lou.
Yeah, it's a special thing.
Okay.
It's a special thing.
Okay.
It's like a secret, okay, and you can't tell it. But now I'm telling everybody. A friend of mine, who I trust implicitly, a very, very good man, told me of a truck driving job that he had, and he, one of his stops is he would haul McNuggets for the Golden Arches people. And while he was there, when he was like 10 rows back, he wasn't going to get loaded for a while. So he goes to the bathroom, and while he's there, he slips on the little white paper outfit with the face mask and goes walking around the plant. He doesn't work there. He's just curious. He's that kind of guy, And in this vat, he sees all this dark, meaty stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's being blended and mixed, and then a worker comes with a 50-pound bag of this white dusty solution, this white dusty powder, and blends it in with this dark murky meat. Well, upon interviewing the guy that was running the machine, who said, he asked him, he goes, "You work here?" He goes, "Yeah, I just started today." He goes, "Yeah, well, here's what we do. We take we cut the chicken breasts off. There's no chicken breasts in a McNugget.
Yeah.
And now there's the trigger, because they advertise all white meat.
Yeah.
All white meat.
Yeah.
Okay, it's what it says. Okay, and you think, but like on Chick-fil-A, theirs really is a little piece of chicken breast.
Right.
It really is.
Right.
Of course, they're 3 times as much as
Right.
McNuggets. But anyway, so there's no chicken. They cut the breast off, and then they mechanically separate the rest of the chicken meat. Okay? And then they put it, it's all dark meat. All dark meat from the chicken. And then they put it in this vat, and they start mixing it, and then they add a whitening agent.
Yeah, also known as chicken lips.
Chicken, however they got it. I don't even know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
But they bleach the dark meat white, so when you bite into a chicken nugget, it's white.
Yeah.
And they're not lying, because it is all white meat.
Yeah.
But it's dark meat they made white.
Yeah. McNuggets sounds.
You believe that?
It sounds so much better than Soylent Brown.
It's and I don't mean this be a spoiler, because like that was the one thing that I would eat at McDonald's. I mean, because I felt half-assed safe about it.
Yeah, well, look at it. Each piece is costing you like 8 cents.
No, they're more than that.
They're 12 cents. I don't know.
They're 50 cents a piece, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what they're serving at Burger King.
Oh my! Oh, that thing. That pile of whatever that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, though. But look at the massive advertising, and that's not a lie, but it ain't the truth.
And you're feeding it to your kids.
It's a lie with an asterisk. It sounds like and that's a huge manipulation that they can advertise all white meat and not have it be white meat, but it is white. So if you took it to court, they'd go, that meat is white. It's meat and it's white.
Right.
But it's not what we imagine as white meat, like a nice steaming chicken breast, like you're hoping for.
Yeah, dark meat matters.
Dark meat. I'm a dark meat guy anyway, but anyway.
I hate being lied to.
So,
especially being lied to well.
And fantastic, and the fact that I bought into it so long, I didn't question the verbiage.
Yeah.
See, and that's what we are combining. That's what's happening now in every press story. They are just releasing headlines of just sheer and utter lies on both sides. Both sides, all three sides, all 94 sides, no, all 168,000 sides. They're all just releasing headlines, and then when they get taken to task, they reverse engineer what it is that they said. And even if there is the slightest beam of truth, they can prove what they said was true. Or when they're accusing you, if they can find the slightest error in your study, they call you out on the carpet as a dolt. So just know this is the biggest, wildest, the language manipulators of today are wildly at work. They have their sleeves rolled up and the little green clear visors, and they're working away at the office because they're learning how to manipulate your mind. They watch us do this. They watch everything we do. They watch us eat. They watch us drive. So they know. They know. And, I still got guys, throwing up some Snopes thing on my page or something. Oh, this isn't quite accurate. I'm going, oh, yeah, read the second page.
Yeah.
But there are so many things, we used to get called, or we still do, I guess, called conspiracy theorists. And we're actually alternative news analyzers is really
not everything's a conspiracy.
No, it's not. Most of this stuff doesn't even fit the conspiracy definition.
Right.
It's just anything that they don't understand or trust or could perhaps have a conservative slant.
Right. It's like I'm sorry, we've taken down your Facebook post because you violated our community guidelines.
Yes.
You see that routine this week?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's hilarious, but it's true. It's so Kafkaesque,
Yep.
It's like, well, you know what you did. We don't have to tell you.
Right.
You violated our guidelines.
You sit in the corner and you think about it, young man.
Exactly. It's like, and where are your guidelines? You've violated our community guidelines. That's all I can say.
Wow, that is written in crayon.
That's the whole thing's sad. But needless to say, you can get out of this BS and learn how to do CE5, do your meditation, learn all about how to make contact. It'll make your lives better. It'll get you, you'll come back to Facebook and say, why don't we even bother?
Right.
You know?
Well, and there's a lot of people awakening to the whole Facebook thing because it's, here we are on their format. But I suppose you're allowed to criticize certain things. And we're here all willingly. There ain't, so far there's not a gun to your head to sit and watch your Facebook posts. But, and this whole thing, I've been on Facebook for 12 years now. And I initially just used it to promote my comedy career. That was great, man. I would, just with my Facebook posts back in the 2000s, I could put 50, 60 people in a room just off my Facebook ads here locally doing stand-up. So it was always a good thing. And it used to be a lot of fun. Now it has really, really turned into a weapon. It's like, we left Grandpa's tool shed wide open and everybody found the saw blades. So now the saw blades are in circulation. And and of course, you're also dealing with media presenters, media people who their entire desire in life is to wow the internet, to make something go viral, and the most huge news stories come and they go. You know, it's the bombing in Beirut still has my jaw hanging out, but it's like out of the news cycle now.
Right.
You know, there's no more discoveries about one of the biggest explosions in the world.
Yeah, well, they want to keep us focused on what's going on with the election, left versus right, red versus blue, you know, one side versus the other. I can see them on Facebook. They're monitoring your posts and saying, oh, my God, there's nobody arguing with him. We need to allow some of his posts back on again. You know?
Yeah.
There's not enough aggression. There's not enough anger on the net anymore. We need to feed it something. We need to keep people angry at each other.
Well, and, you know, with this corona thing or what this virus scare that, hey, you know, I'm sorry if somebody you know died or, you know, or you died, whatever plane you're listening to this on. But the reality of it is the statistics were greatly manipulated in that, yeah, it was an aid to death to people that had other existing ailments, but actual COVID-only deaths were about 10,000.
Well, the whole thing's nuts. Last night I went downtown to meet a friend for a drink, and I figured I'd go up to the bar and have a sit, you know?
Yeah.
You know, everybody had their masks off. So I go up to the bar to have a sit, and I get between these two patrons, and they're within like 3 feet of each other.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, things are back to normal. I got to sit down. And one of them goes to me, she goes, you can't sit here. And I was like, is this seat taken? And she says something like, yeah, might as well be. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to take anybody else's seat who's safe. So I went back and, you know, sat down at the table. And the other patron who was there, after she finished her drink, came over to me and she goes, you know, after she basically told you to leave, I said, hey, I'm sitting right here within 3 feet of you, and it didn't bother you. The COVID rule wasn't enforced when I was within the 6 feet.
Right.
And she said, well, nothing.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I can enforce this rule, and I'm going to enforce it, and I really don't care what happens.
She was empowered.
She was right, empowered to, you know, be a...
Well, she moved a mountain of a man with a sneer.
I know, and it's so easy, too.
Yeah.
You know?
But you're a soft dude, really.
Why not?
In a lot of ways. Hey, it's the way to be, man.
You know, rather, you know, I can get my garb up.
Like Adrian Ballou says, I'm burnt around the edges, but I'm tender in the middle. And ladies and gentlemen, just know, okay, that the U.S. Army in 1977 confirmed that they had conducted 239 germ warfare tests in open air between 1949 and 1969, using the public as human guinea pigs in New York, San Francisco, Key West, and numerous other cities. The Army copped to that in 1977. Okay? So if you think this is some happenstance, some rare piece of out of left fieldism, it ain't.
It's been modus operandi, status quo ever since then. And it came out in '77, and you know what it was? They're putting that out there so that nobody would start looking into the 7,000 Navy guys they sent to clean up the Bikini Atoll and put the atomic waste in a concrete cistern, who are all dying now.
Right.
You know, right. Yeah, I was like, you know, look over here, don't look at the birdie over here.
They are the best that watch the birdie.
They're horrible.
They really.
They're horrible. You know, matter of fact, you know, my son died in the military, and one of the things they did was they said that they changed protocols so that it wouldn't happen again. And I was just reading the news the other day, and it was at Fort Sill. They've had 21 GIs die at the fort this year. 21 here at home.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you talk about the Army don't care, the government don't care. They don't care about you.
No, that's true. That's true. And also, as we're, you know, barraged with this, you know, here we are, September 9th. September 11th is just a couple days away. And by the way, I sent you a link. They're perhaps reopening, or they are reopening the 9/11 case on Building 7.
Are they? Is that in the United States here, or is that over in Europe?
I think it's here.
Is it good? Because
No.
Yeah, good.
No, it's in England.
Okay,
It's in England. Okay.
I read the post.
But that will, if truth be told, it will lay a lot of evidence back towards over here.
Yeah,
the
Americans are going to say they don't speak our language.
Those Englishmen,
Yeah, they're from Europe.
They
business from.
they sound like they got a little turd right here in their lip.
We already said that it was a fire.
Oh.
It's like, we don't want to know.
And for those of you who never looked up Building 7, and hopefully our audience has looked up Building 7 and understands the controversy, it went down at 5:20 in the afternoon. No plane hit it, and a third-story office fire was the cause of that's the official story. That's what made the building collapse into its own footprint, demolition style, with sites of flashpoints of it going down. I mean, you can see it's a planned demolition.
After the owner said, "Okay, pull it."
Okay, exactly. You got to pull it. It's got a little office fire down there. You better pull it.
Pull it.
So
those of us who fucked with explosives all know what that means.
So and here we coming up on 19 years. But you know what it is? We get so busy, and they give us just enough money. They give us just enough opportunity to keep us surging forward and perhaps earning and adding to the system that is beating us up, man. The stress anymore is going on.
Poisoning our planet too, and it's the only planet we got to live on.
This is the only one we got so far, and just folks, if you're feeling barraged with negative energy, it's because you are being barraged with negative energy. There's no real way out of it, but we're going to have to ride through whatever happens. I mean, these are plans that have been made long before. It's going to play out to some extent.
Well, I didn't send you the link, but there was an incident in Canada where one of the tribe's petroglyphs, these things that have been up there for thousands of years, some assholes came by with a spray painter and they spray painted up the petroglyphs.
Oh.
Okay. Now here's the moral of the story. It's a horrible thing that happened, but it is a natural consequence of somebody pulling down a statue.
Yep.
You're spray painting Elvis's walls. When you start to allow that kind of lawlessness happen and allow one side to do it, then eventually it's going to spread, and the other side will do it, and then the energy you have put out there is coming back to you tenfold.
Yes.
So my friend who posted this and sent it to me was asking, isn't this horrible and terrible? But at the same time, he was, 10 weeks ago, he was posting with hurrahs the Black Lives Matter pulling down the statues.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, dude, if you don't see what's going on here, seeing that energy's coming back to us, then you're not seeing what reality truly is. Well,
it's a real tug of war for your spirit, and if you get overtaken by it, don't feel bad. It's more powerful than you at times, but individually you do have the power to resurrect yourself, to put yourself back into a buoyant situation. See, that's why we love the CE5s and the HICE experiences there, because they really do take you out of this loop. It's like all this stuff is happening under the clouds, in lower vibrations with harsher frequencies. But when you're in your meditative and your ethereal state, you're above that din. You're perhaps in like a little bubble where the world is the outside world really isn't affecting you. You can be who you like to be. And as you find these wonderful traits about yourself in this level, and then you take it up to the higher levels, because once you've ascended above the din, once you've ascended above this cacophony of bullshit they throw at us every day, once you're above that, then you are unfettered. You have let a lot of stuff down. You have dropped a lot of stuff. And when you are in your ethereal or your prayerful or your meditative mind, you can really soar upwards and go far because you're actually tapping into your true spirit, which is the thing that keeps you moving all day long. So this kind of is like boot camp for that. I mean, it's harsh, and we're getting banged around mentally. A lot of people are getting banged around physically. It's horrible to see innocent people hurt, and it's terrible to watch the cops fight the rioters and the rioters fight the cops, and everybody's wrong and everybody's sad and angry and yelling, and it's really, really jagged vibrations.
That's why it's so important to meditate.
It is.
And I don't mean, you have to find a quiet place and, sit your ass on a meditation, pillow. All you need to do is calm it down and then do your breathing 1 or 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, however many you can fit in during the day, once or twice, 3 times a day. Calm you right down. So please, those who are listening, take my advice. I rarely give it. Meditate.
It's wonderful advice, and you helped teach me the frequency of meditation. The more you do it, I used to kind of just save it up for a time during the day. Right. When those little mini sessions throughout the day, if you have the wherewithal to think and put yourself out, even if you just have to go to a bathroom and just stand there.
Every time you get in your car, take 3 minutes and meditate before you turn on the engine.
That's a great idea, and especially with what all's going on. And folks, I can't tell you enough. I've told you 50 times, and I'll tell you again. You got to leave that TV off, man. There's other stuff. There's beautiful things that you can watch for the programming that they have out there. You don't have to stick your head in that blow-by-blow political bullshit. Because it really is. It's just the sub-story of the sub-story of the sub-story. But I want you all to be prepared. And like we say here, this show was based on the pacifist riot, which is a piece of writing you can get on imho.love. If you go to imho.love, there's a little drop-down menu for the pacifist riot. You can print it out, keep it, share it, whatever you like. And while you're there, if you'll like the show and share it as freely as you like, the show is also on BitChute, YouTube, Podbean, and our girl Kathy McGuire takes care of all that.
Yeah, what we need to do is put the CE5 results in the CE5 in the title, so that way maybe I can slip it to some friends. I haven't put anything CE5ish out there for a long time.
Okay.
And it may be time to do it because so many people talk about it. They start these groups and they knock information back and forth, but nobody's going out into the field and doing it. Very few people are.
Right.
And because of that, this whole movement, or whatever you want to call it, it's a spiritual refinement of humanity is not catching on as it should, and it just might with the right people, putting it forward, which is what we're trying to do. We don't care if you're right, we don't care if you're left. What we do care is that you're kind and gentle and compassionate and patient with people. And when you get that, when you're there, then making contact will be so much easier. So
exactly. Yeah, and if you're not afraid.
Right. You have to have love.
Yeah, you have to have a full 360 of love inside of you, and know that the Creator that made you does not want to take you and torment you for the rest of your days because you didn't join a club. The Creator that made you loves and cherishes your soul, and you are part of a grand oneness, which the most authentic vibration in everything is the love vibration or the innocence vibration. Those are the two things that that's the cohesiveness of this entire planet. And as we shed this outer world and the political baloney and the opinions and attitudes and, just our imagery and our ego, the dying of the ego is, and we can go on and on and on and on. But that element of love that's in everything, in every human being, in every person, the more you glorify that within yourself. And this is truth long before any holy book was ever written. This is truth amongst humanity. That before we had spoken words and languages and this was the common thing, the exhibition of love, the helpfulness of humanity towards one another, just noticing need and being willing to step forth and help. And whether we catch on to this in this lifetime, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, as you generate further and further away from the ugly, scratchy din, you will find that the more refined your vibrations become, the more peaceful and gentle they are. And as you find more and more peace and more gentleness, then you'll also start feeling more love, more innocence, and returning to your natural self, the self that came here as a baby. So it's a cycle. It's a big cycle. And we're strong enough, we're tough enough, we're smart enough. Right now, there's enough of us out there. Let's share the love we have for one another, with one another, because of one another. It's just time for that.
Yeah, before you came into this world of 10,000 things, you were an infinite soul in an infinite universe. And just because we're here in a physical world, in that world, as Lao Tzu called it, world of 10,000 things, that should not change your tact or approach to the universe or to the infinite nature of existence.
Yes, actually the world of 10,000 things lessens your existence.
Right, you confine yourself to a physical world.
Right.
So,
and you're not. You are.
And that's where CE5 comes in, because that's a confirmation that whatever you're doing, whatever we're doing to make contact, is not of the material world as we know it.
There's nothing to gain.
And there's
materially.
There's nothing to manipulate to do it.
There's no one to manipulate.
Except your heart and your mind and your ability to project whatever it is you have, that love component, we'll call
it.
That brings it in. And that's what changes the world for you. You realize that what really connects with these non-human intelligences, these extraterrestrials, these interdimensionals, whatever you want to call them, these essential energy beings, that's what does it. And I'll get back to the CE5. This is the unusual thing, okay?
Okay.
After Tanya, who's taking the video,
we're back to the orb story now.
Back to the orb story, and this is
the corona.
This is the
cororba.
Another part of this amazing occurrence is. I came over to her and she goes, "Watch this," and she played it back.
Right.
Okay? And it was perfect. It was just like the coronas without any candle center.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was really cool. And then she put it down, and then she picked it up to show somebody else about 5 minutes later, and then the lights appeared in the photographs, in the video, where none had been. So whether the camera edited that to put the light in, or whether these entities were there to put the light in, it happened.
Wow!
And that's how when the photographs came out that I circulated, that was the
I got them on my
result.
phone,
and you can see it.
You're my current screensaver,
right? And I'm wondering, yeah. So that was the other miraculous part of this. Whatever caused that to happen was, my goodness, it was just such a moving experience.
Well, these are subtle signals, and what identifies them as being real is how you reacted to it. There definitely is a wave of emotion when it's something that you've never experienced before or seldom experienced. And it also, for those of you who need cold hard facts, there also could be an emotional attachment too that makes you feel that way. I don't know. But what I'm saying is regularly, month after month, we have these experiences here, and we just, we love everybody. We love every religion. We love everything. Anybody that's trying to make themselves more peaceable and lovable and trying to return to their personal innocence. We're happy to help, and we're blessed to know you. But what we're talking about actually is above or beyond. I don't know if it's above, but it's definitely beyond all these written words because it's organic. There's no.
It's the Tao.
There's no. There's no rule book. It's just such a natural expression of your humanity when you find that you reaching out to an infinite universe and in the infinite universe reaching back in a small way. It's a tremendous feeling. It's something you can't. That's why we do it, for that one little moment, that one little piece.
You've made contact with something beyond the ability, beyond the kin and the ability for anybody to understand. Mm-hmm. And they come here. Why? What's in it for them? Other than, hey, there's like a real spiritual person on Earth. I think we're going to go visit and see what one looks like.
I don't think it's any more than that.
Yeah.
You know, I really do think it's that.
Well, they respond because they love too.
Yeah, it's their way of generating love and way of letting us know that we're correct.
Yep.
And like Mike was saying, the CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, or HICE, Human Initiated Contact Experiences, there's a fantastic book called the CE5 Handbook by Celia Hatch. It's a free download online if you go to ce5handbook.org, I think it is, or CE5 Handbook. But Celia Hatch has done an exhaustive work. And
translated. I think it's in Japanese now, too.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. And if you want to get started, you know, there's the 101 for you. And, of course, you can always get hold of Mike at Darby Ranch CE5 at
gmail.com.
At gmail.com. That's Darby Ranch CE5 at gmail.com. And he'll be happy to send you off protocols and whatever else you would like. That's Darby Ranch CE5 at gmail.com. And learn. I mean, you will feel better about out there when you spend a little time concentrating, meditating, and praying that way, outside of us, outside of this. And who knows? Maybe they're underneath the earth. I don't know. We don't know where the hell they are. But we're open to loving them. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Please, you know, like we say on the show, use your head, trust your gut, and your heart will bring you home every time. Thank you so much. We love the fact that you watch and listen and feedback, whatever you like. And thank you everybody that helps with the show, and of course Kat Carroll and Mary Ducina and it's so many contributors, Yvonne and Debbie. And there's people sending me great stuff, and I know I'm missing a whole bunch of people, and I'm sorry, but that's where my head's at right now. I just talked for an hour. So, ladies and gentlemen, please have a good week. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. Mike?
Peace, y'all.
Where'd you get that?
That's an original.
That's a good one. And we're going to finish up. Thank you, man. Love you guys. Oh, hi, Susan.